USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, starring Ian Pelham Turner and Helena CHARD. Brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence, Investors in People. This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes, building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I found I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today.
Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Royal historical discoveries have been found after 7 years of research.
Sarah Ferguson becomes an agony aunt.
Dua Lipa makes the rich list.
And King Charles meets the President of South Korea. All this and more on the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show on ALB UK television. My name is Ian Pelham Turner.
My name is Helena CHARD.
Okay, so let's roll the titles and let's get on with the show.
So for over 500 years, we believed that the princes in the tower, that's King Edward V. He was actually King Edward V for a couple of months, I think, and his brother Prince Richard IX were murdered by their uncle Richard in 1483. But now it seems that amateur historian Philippa Langley's latest research and bombshell evidence has disproved that.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the most amazing lady because, first of all, this lady found the remains of Richard III in a car park in Leicester. So how can, I mean, this is the most amazing tale. And from a royal perspective, this is probably one of the most historic stories that have been going forever, have now been disproved. They were alive.
I think it's amazing. So they took the names of Lambert Simnel and Perkin Warbeck, and they sort of actually tried to launch failed attempts to depose Henry VII in the 15th century. But I think it's incredible, isn't it, that sort of Richard III came in and just decided that he wanted to, you know, pronounce himself monarch, and that was that. But there was somebody obviously in the tower who made them a promise that they'd be kept hidden and off to Europe.
What's been happening for really centuries now? Everybody's been trying to discover where the bodies were. And at one stage, I think in the early part of the 20th century, 2 bodies were found in the Tower of London itself. And they thought, aha, we've now found the bodies. No, they haven't. And then 2 bodies were also found in Windsor Castle, in the grounds of Windsor Castle, and they were assumed, now we found them. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So what an amazing story.
I think it is. I think it's 1674, and it was King Charles II's reign that the children were found. And they're actually in an urn at the moment. And it actually says on the urn, King Edward V and brother Prince Richard. And that's in Westminster Abbey. But I think the funny thing is King Charles is a fan of archaeology, and he studied it as a student at Cambridge. And obviously now people are saying that he actually wants to dig them up and do a DNA investigation. I'm not sure, to be quite honest. But for me, doesn't it tells you that we should always question history. You know?
But especially royal history, because the reality with royal history is that it's down to an interpretation of historians as well a lot of the time. And sometimes, let's be honest, as we both know, I mean, there's always 2 sides to any royal coin. And a lot of the time, you know, when supposed stories are happening, and then you know the real outcome years later, that's the interesting part. But it's the most fascinating royal history story and it's been really groundbreaking as well. And especially now King Charles wanting to find out about even more about it. It's amazing.
I think it is, absolutely. Goodness me, I don't dread people trying to look into history, our history now, in years to come, with the rolling news.
Absolutely.
Wowzers.
Well, talk about royal history. Well, Sarah Ferguson. I love Sarah Ferguson. I knew her and Princess Diana as well, and they were quite a twosome in their early days together. And now Sarah Ferguson has become an agony aunt. Yes, you hear it first. She's become an agony aunt on a TV show, one of the most popular TV shows in Britain, called This Morning.
Yeah, and also a guest editor as well, not just an agony aunt. But I mean, I think the lovely thing about Sarah Ferguson is her main ethos is to be kind.
Yep.
And she really exudes something special. She's quite quirky. And we've heard about her wanting to be a TV presenter that came on now and then. She's got a lot to offer. And she's also, another thing that she talks about as well is her, she's a patron of a teenage cancer trust for 32 years. And that was because her stepfather died of cancer. And this charity relies on raising funds, so celebrities do loads of performances at the Royal Albert Hall, which is something recent. But the irony is she's just overcome breast cancer herself as well.
Absolutely, so that's an irony. But the other lovely part is that the Queen accepted her again, because she is now looking after the corgis.
She is.
I know, what a great story.
I think that's the most fabulous present. If you could be left something,
yes.
I think that's the best thing. I really do.
And no doubt this is one of the last requests before Queen Elizabeth died, that Sarah Ferguson looks after the dog. I mean, it's the royal family, they've got all sorts of issues at the moment, but isn't it lovely, isn't it wonderful to talk about some positive royal news as well?
I think there's a lot of positive royal news. I mean, I just think they're quite tight-knit as well, the working royals at the moment. So it's good, but I love the way that she's always sending out Instagrams and everything with the corgis in, which is fun, isn't it? Moving on, so the Heat Rich list returns. Now this is to reveal the 30 richest stars. This is Bauer Media. And Harry Styles, of course, is on there. But I'm really excited that Dua Lipa is number 2, which I think is, I love Dua Lipa. She's my favourite. I think every girl, boy, person has sort of had their hairbrush moment dancing to her music. I think she's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. She's actually 28. She's British Albanian, and I think the most super singer. And she started off as a model, and in 2013 was signed with Warner Brothers Records. She has got so many, accolades. She's 6 Brit Awards, 3 Grammy Awards, 2 Guinness World Records, and there's so much more as well. But I just think she's absolutely fabulous. Worth 82.5 million.
Absolutely, and it just goes to show how successful Albanians are today. And there was this wonderful photograph of us, well, wrapped in the Albanian flag. And obviously with ALB UK TV, which is our production service and studio that we come from as well, this is of interest to Albanian people as well. And I think that the reality at the moment is that it just goes to show again that the values that Albanians bring to Britain.
Absolutely. And what's your favourite Dua Lipa song, Ian?
I don't know any of them. I have to be honest. This is now. If you'd asked me about Tchaikovsky's first movement, then I might have been able to tell you. But I'm sure she is magnificent. I know that there are so many Albanians, talented Albanians, obviously being out there as well. So it's an incredible thing. But 82 million, come on, that's not bad for someone under 30.
She's got a great voice. She's so talented. It's not so much about the money really, but one of my favourite songs, Dance the Night Away, which is from the Barbie album. Okay. And she was also on Elton John's tour, his finale tour, doing Cold Heart. I'm a real fan.
You're of an age where all this matters. To me, unfortunately, it's nice that Albanians are winning, but she's probably not my type of music. But moving on about wonderful stories, this made me chuckle. This really made me chuckle this week that Victoria Beckham has now produced a T-shirt, "My Dad Had a Rolls Royce." Take it away, Helena.
So, lovely, absolutely fabulous. So if anyone's seen the recent documentaries, it was a 4-part series of David Beckham and Victoria Beckham. And there's one brilliant scene, and I think we do have a clip of it in a second, but she, from this, which is "My Dad Had a Rolls Royce," she's now got this T-shirt. It's £110. It is actually part of her collection as well, and it's the sort of playful side of her collection. And interestingly, Rolls-Royce shares soaring, up by 150% since January. I don't know if there's some kind of, impetus there, but we should play it because it gives an idea of how funny it is.
Now, who doesn't love a slogan T-shirt? I do. And I have to say, my question for you all, what did your dad drive you to school in? My dad drove me, yes, in a Rolls Royce. We're very working class.
Be honest.
I am being honest. I am being honest.
What car did your dad drive you to school in?
So my dad did...
No, one answer.
My dad...
What car was it?
Alright, it's not a simple answer
What did you get your dad to drive
It depends.
No.
Okay, in the 80s my dad had a Rolls Royce.
Thank you.
Okay, I can't fight it anymore. My dad, yes, he drove me to school in a Rolls Royce.
Now then, if that goes on in the Beckham household, I have to sort of say it's like watching something like this. Now, was that actually set up? I don't know.
I don't think it was. If you see the Netflix series, it is absolutely brilliant. If you know, that is real gold. Very well done, very well styled. They came over beautifully. Such a lovely family, and I think as well we're seeing on the media at the moment. You know, mum out with daughter, having quality daughter time, daughter mum time, and the Winter Wonderland is open, which is the Christmassy fair thing. But obviously for them, it's a quick walk from their Holland Park place, and they've been spotted there a few times. It's always very positive, all their filming. I love it. And there's quality father and daughter time, organic farming, leading, you know, tending to a vegetable plot. And also, as we've heard, the King has invited Beckham for dinner. And I have a feeling it may be to be a Prince's Trust ambassador. And even better, I think it is time for a knighthood. Surely, after all these years.
Well, I agree, because I think with David Beckham, he's been an incredible ambassador, you know, for really most of his career, and that he's virtually never put a foot wrong at any time at all. He was an incredible football player. He's really been an inspiration, so is Victoria as well, you know, to communities as well across the world. You know, and his son, I think, is he's married now. His son, I think, and he's a photographer. So basically, they're obviously a very artistic family in the first place.
I think what's lovely as well is Beckham is and the whole family are real royalists. And do you remember how Beckham waited in line when the late Queen's queued all night long, whereas people were trying to push in and they couldn't believe that he was there to pay his respects.
That's right. And I think it was 12 hours he queued up to actually you know, see the last episodes of the Queen. And you know, it's again, and you know, he was talking apparently to people in the crowd. He wasn't being standoffish. So many, you know, so-called celebrities that perhaps we've worked with at some time or other, that, you know, that they'll appear on television as one person, and in reality they're perhaps not the same person in real life. David Beckham is.
He is. And just finally, one thing that I was surprised about. I mean, one, he's immaculate, as we know, but he's the most brilliant cleaner. As in, he's the one that, he tidies up the house, he leaves everything, he spends time after dinner parties tidying and cleaning up candles, and quite amazing. Wonderful husband.
He's obviously learned that from me. You know, do you know? Well, it's true. You know, I can never leave my flat unless it is reasonably clean and tidy. I could never, you know, come back to it. I always look forward to coming back to my flat
when it's neat and tidy.
When it's neat and tidy.
Wow. Organised mind, isn't it? As well, it means.
Absolutely.
So very true. And also moving on, really, Victoria Beckham obviously has her clothesline, as we know, and she has a really quality product. But also Gwyneth Paltrow. Now, a little while ago, there was the ski crash, which was unfortunate. At some point, I think in springtime, and it was a high-profile ski crash. And as a result, there's now a
musical.
Yes, it's a musical, that's it. I was going to call it a pantomime. A musical called
It could be a pantomime as well.
It will be a pantomime. Gwyneth goes skiing. So it's a story of love, betrayal, skiing, and it's almost a little bit Christmassy, but it's set to run from the 13th to the 23rd at the Pleasance Theatre, 90 minutes, and Linus Karp plays Paltrow. Joseph Martin plays Terry Sanderson. Now, he's the optometrist who collided with Gwyneth in the Utah ski slope 2016. But I think the most amazing thing about it, for me, is how cool, calm and collected Gwyneth was, because she actually won the case, hands down. He sued for millions and billions, and she did a counter sue for £1 or $1.
Yeah. And it's just the most, I mean, when she described the actual incident herself, it's almost like a Keystone Cops crash, because apparently this gentleman came up behind her and almost was sort of sat on her skis, you know, straight behind her, and she wondered what on earth was going on.
I know. Absolutely amazing. And I think as well, following on from that as well, this is new things in fashion, quiet luxury. So this is a new term, and it refers to the understated clothing made with very high quality materials. And of course, what happened, it's become a fashion subculture from that moment, that in the courtroom, it became like a catwalk place where she would come in looking marvellous in this sort of neutral colours, minimalist style, invisible branding, and now that's the big thing. And that's the way we're going. It's that quiet luxury, that wonderful high quality materials. I love it.
And she obviously, didn't want to diminish him either in any way. And afterwards, apparently, when the court case was over with and the result had been announced, she went over and whispered in his ear, "Good luck."
Yeah, he said that. Exactly, which I think was very calm and collected. Wish you well or something, wasn't it? Good on her. Good on her. I think it's been a very royal time, hasn't it? Very royal time for King Charles
time at the moment,
and the whole family. So we've had King Charles as marked Interfaith Week with faith leaders. I mean, this is something that he really, it means so much to him. Even as the Prince of Wales, wasn't it? The King worked for many years promoting tolerance and greater understanding between different faiths and communities. And when he addressed the nation and the Commonwealth, he spoke about his continued desire to serve everybody loyally, with respect and love, whatever background or beliefs. And that is something that he has really, I mean, we need it more than ever, don't we?
And it was really quite controversial, all of this, because at one stage when he was wanting to work on the speech that he did when he became king, he wanted to use a phrase of that he would serve all faiths. And there was a lot of controversy over this. And I think at one stage, it was even, I think, the Archbishop of Canterbury got involved as well, in all of this. And I think it is so important right now that Charles is given some of the rights. In reality, he's probably been the most outspoken monarch in modern times. When he was Prince of Wales, he obviously was outspoken on a lot of things, especially architecture, for example, and the planet. And now the reality is that although he's king, and normally he wouldn't be saying too much. So he's either using William to say what he wants to get the message out, or he's actually starting to say a few things himself. I think he's testing the water.
No, I don't know. I think he's completely centre stage. He's very bright. His empathic level is huge, and I feel he's able to connect people. So he does speak out, but he doesn't overstep the mark. I think it's a really fine line. He's very different to his late mother, obviously.
Yes.
But I think it's very good for the country. I think I'm really impressed with him. Completely. Anyway, so also we have got Ian, the South Korean president, Yoon Suk Yeol, and his wife Kim Kyun-hee. Sorry if I've got that a little bit wrong.
I'm glad you said that. I was waiting for you to say that today.
They're spending 3 days in London, and it's the first incoming state visit since King Charles' coronation. So everything, I mean, obviously we're celebrating 140th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties, and there's pageantry, celebrations, tour of the Royal Collection of Art and Artefacts in the Buckingham Palace Picture Gallery, glittering state banquet.
We've got video as well, have we not?
We have the videos rolling, but obviously the banquet speech is what I've been really interested in. Because obviously state visits are a soft power mixed with pageantry and practical politics. And I think it's a serious diplomatic and economic purpose with trade deals in the pipeline.
With trade deals, and obviously with South Korea being, again, one of the big technology centres in the world, and the pact we have made with different parts of that region and America for new types of business technologies as well. And as I learned this week, a factoid this week is that apparently Great Britain now is the 3rd largest technology centre in the world.
That really excites me.
And that's away from I think it was US is number 1, China is number 2, and we're number 3.
I'm going to wave some flags.
It just goes to show you, and we've been having fun recently, haven't we, with artificial intelligence and seeing what can be done there.
It is incredible.
Probably making sense of this programme at times.
I know. I find it exciting learning new things, so that's all good. We've obviously got wonderful new statues as well of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip that were unveiled by a very sombre king, I think. Yep. He was quite tearful, and this was ahead of the Royal British Legion Festival of Remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall. Interestingly, they were sculpted by a young lady called Poppy Field, and I just think that her name, I mean, how can it be that her name is Poppy Field and it was to do with remembrance at the Royal Albert Hall? It seems so strange, the synergy. But these life-size bronzes are absolutely fantastic. Yep. And she created a love story. And if you see, obviously, the video's rolling, Philip, the late Philip, he sort of turned to the side, just looking at her lovingly. No, and remember, it's for the Royal Albert Hall's 150th anniversary.
Absolutely. So time is of a presence today, unfortunately. The story that tickled me is, being of a certain age myself, Sir Michael Caine was asked, how do you keep so young? You know, what keeps you so young? And he replied, first of all, there are 3 things. The first thing is marry a younger wife. And I thought this has got to be a tongue-in-cheek. Second of all is no snacking whatsoever. And for Michael Caine, who owns a restaurant, I think that's quite hard. And then the third one was wear trainers. Now, I noticed that the picture we've got, he's wearing shoes. I don't think he's wearing trainers, but there you go.
He didn't want to fall over. He's living his best life, that's what I do know. Prince William, he was given a fabulous picture from a Caribbean woman called Merle D. Pearl. Have we got a little clip of that?
I think we've got a clip of that.
I just think it's so lovely for her because she obviously gave it to him 41 years later and was very, very excited.
Well, it amused me. I was showing the clip on that one.
Look at that, oh my goodness. Who painted that? Did you paint that? Did you really? Wow, look at that. When he was a baby.
How jolly she was handing that over. Made with love. I love that. Pure love.
I remember Prince William as well when he was young. So anyway, let's scout over there.
Scoot over.
I think we're really short on time now, but we can just talk briefly about the crown. And apparently the yellow villa.
Oh, yes. So there's Mohammed Al Fayed's yellow villa from the Crown is available on Airbnb, believe it or not. Princess Diana stayed there, and I think lots of tourists will be excited to stay there. I mean, it's very plush, stunning yellow Balearic villa. And it features in the opening episode.
Absolutely, and also some of the replicas are now being, including up the front of 10 Downing Street, is being sold.
It's the sets, the costumes, the props of the Crown, the revenge dress, the facade of Number 10. But I think the funniest thing is the gold coach. Yep. But there's a market for it, and it will be at Bonham's. So if anyone wants to have a little bit of the Crown.
If you want a royal carriage, there's one available.
Not 4 tons though,
no,
not gold.
And I think finally we're just going to have a very brief part of the Winter Wonderland.
We have, yes, and that's the new feature in London. Everyone should get there. It's very twinkly and Christmassy, and we've got a lovely little clip.
Let's roll the clip.
People look forward to this all year. Seeing it all come together really is special.
It's nerves, it's anticipation, it's excitement.
All hands on deck.
1 day left.
Just doing the final touches.
Landscaping snow going in.
You know, it's long days, long hours, but I'm really, really pleased with it. I think everybody is.
Winter Wonderland is hugely important for the Royal Parks. It's magical to see it come to life.
We're all chiselling a little bit faster because there's only 2 hours to go now.
Everything we've worked on all year.
Transformed into a magical wonderland.
We want everyone to enjoy what we've created.
It's the start of Christmas. This is what Winter Wonderland's all about.
Winter Wonderland is now open.
Well, that's another great show. And we've got to be really, really quick now.
I know.
So for me, Ian Pelham-Turner.
From me, Helena Chard.
Can I thank, first of all, the production team here today on ALB UK Television, also Philip Sykes from the British School of Excellence as well. What a wonderful show that we're doing again.
It has, it's been fabulous, and we look forward to seeing everyone next week.
We'll see you again. So this was the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show on ALB UK Television. Bye for now.